Hello guys, and welcome back to the Corn Cadets. Today we are going to be looking at the Bluecoats 2022 program Riffs and Revelations, and I'm going to be picking my top 5 moments. Anyway, let's just get straight to today's video. Before we do start though, I want to note that you guys can join anytime. It is completely free, no audition necessary. You can join the Corn Cadets. All you have to do is click the subscribe button. Really helps out the channel. Anyway, let's just get to it. A few things I do want to say. I know I'm really pushing off the start of the video. Is that the way this works? This is kind of a new form of video that I'm doing here. So essentially, a moment in the show is from about a minute to a minute and a half. And the way I separate between moments, there's probably something like 10 in the whole show. But you can kind of tell where a moment starts and ends by when the music changes, if there's a pause, or for this show, when a new instrument is kind of added or removed. Also, I do want to say that me judging it does not discredit these performers at all. If anything, these performers are incredibly talented. This show is really good. I don't even know how it's not like near one of the top shows. I was lucky to see this in person, and as much as there's some things I dislike about it, it's still an incredible show. So let's move on to moment number 5, their closer. So their closer, while still good, is just, I would say, not necessarily powerful enough. It didn't have quite as much of an oomph as a lot of closers do. And I feel like if they had ended the show right after the guitar segment, which will be coming up, then I think the show would have ended at a more natural moment and a moment that's much louder. However, the show would have been really short, so I feel like they, in developing the show, added on to it. And the closer, unfortunately, isn't as strong at this point in the season. And then, again, this is only a week. I mean, this is top 5, but this is only one of the weaker moments because the show is so good. So number 5 is the closer. Number 4, I'm dubbing the car scene. And a few things that I want to note about. First off, some great drum set. I love me some drum set, and the like doo-doo-cha, it really cool. It could be higher, but I think a lot of the other moments are more powerful, more noteworthy, and so I think this just ranks a little lower because of that. Again, because this show is so good. This section also has some really good drill and some really good front ensemble to kind of back up the extremely loud and powerful horns that are honestly found throughout the show. We'll move on to number 3, and this is the guitar segment. So this and the next segment are kind of, you could look at as one long moment, but because it spans for so long, I kind of separate it into the section that has the guitar and the section without the guitar. And I know you're thinking, you put the guitar segment below the other segment, and I said that for a few reasons. But some of the positives about the guitar segment is that they really do have some great, again, I keep saying this, great horn, and the sound is like very large. It's, even watching it on, YouTube through through flow marching, the sound is just huge and engulfs everything. And if I was going just based off of that video, then this I could potentially see it being number 1. However, this, unfortunately for the Bluecoats, is one of the few shows I've seen in person. And when you are sitting, we got pretty good seats, center row, center area, like 10 rows up. The biggest issue in this segment is actually that the guitar is too loud and overshadows the horns because the speakers are right there. So I think if you're at the top of the stand, you're going to have a much better balance. But where the show is meant to be heard is in the center of the audience. And unfortunately, the show, just like this moment, just isn't as strong because the guitar overshadows a little bit. Still a great segment. I'm gonna move on. So number 2, I'm dubbing it the "You Wanna Dance" segment because of the audio that plays. Which I would like to note that I was a little irritated. Sorry, Bluecoats. That you covered up one of the drum breaks with that audio. I figured I'd vent about it right now because I may never get another chance, but that I did not like. But I guess it's too late now. You Wanna Dance segment is awesome. It has a great fanfare throughout that kind of carries into the guitar segment. It has a very Latin feel almost, and is very unique to drum corps. Kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Madison Scouts in like the 80s or 90s, where they had a bunch of Latin shows. Except this was obviously very different than that, and just very unique. I really liked it, and yeah, just a great fanfare, great horns, great sound, great everything about this segment. But unfortunately, I liked the next segment a little bit better. This is opinion. You should know that I'm the one who judges this, so it's not very factual. Now, before we do get to number 1 here on the Bluecoats show, I do want to talk about 2 honorable mention moments. And the first is a tenor moment that lasted about 10 seconds, but was truly great. I'll let you take a listen. And second was a front ensemble moment that was really cool, that lasted a while. And having listened to the show, it completely just faded from my mind. It wasn't even there. So amazing moment. Here, I'll let you take a listen to that. Number 1 is the opener. The opener, which is... It just has really strong and powerful horns, again, as I've said many a time in this show. But what's cool about it is that there are also some trombones that played. And again, front ensemble and drumline really backed up this segment well. And better than any other segment was there was balance. I felt like throughout the ensemble, there was balance between every part. And so it just all came together so beautifully in the opener. Now the show, you might be like, it starts good and then ends worse. And I would just say that is wrong. This show throughout is incredible, and I really didn't mention much the guard. The guard throughout is great. I would say overall, this show definitely a contender to win this year. And I feel like the Bluecoats recently have continually put up some shows that definitely could win. I personally feel like 2019 should have won, but I'm sure I'll talk about that another day. Anyway, those were my favorite moments in the Bluecoats 2022 program, Riffs and Revelations. Thanks for watching the Corn Cadets. I'll see you guys next time.